guys, Alex here from Let's Play 40K. Today I'm bringing you the second part of the Seize the Dishonored campaign. This mission here is called No Retreat, No Surrender. And what that entails is that the Deathwing are now on the world, they're present, and they've found Lucius Nerol, who's now a dreadnaught rather than the commander. And his systems aren't working properly. There's something wrong. They still have a second presence, so they know he's still alive and in there, but the actual dreadnaught itself is not functionable. It had a bunch of debris on it, as if like a building had fallen on it, and something happened. So they're trying to figure out what's going on. None of them, however, are tech marines, so they're not very familiar with how these things work. So they're just staring at it, trying to figure out what's going on. However, once they've landed, that drop pod makes a huge noise, especially the fighting as well. The hive mind knows that there is Deathwing in the area and that there's a force. So Urial Lionheart knows for a fact that there's going to be a battle coming. So instead of trying to tamper with the Grey Knight dreadnaught, that none of them really know about, they decide to set up their defenses and brace for their second battle, brace for the battle that's about to ensue, which everyone knows is coming. So in the last battle they won, and in the campaign you get renown and requisition points for winning a battle. You also get some from losing as well. But what ended up happening is, since they won, they gained +2 renown, which is basically like one of your main spending points. You need to have a certain amount of renown to unlock certain abilities, essentially. It's kind of like leveling up, but not really. And then you get requisition points, which is considered something like more along the lines of money. Like you can spend that to upgrade your guys or to gain new guys, etc. like that. So what I did is I had 2 renown and I gained 20 requisition points, 10 for participating, 5 for winning, 3 for first blood, and 2 for something else that I forget right now. Slay the Warlord, I believe it was. So in this one I gained 20 requisition points and I spent 15 of them. 5 being spent on Furious Charge for Urial Lionheart, another 5 points being giving Apothecary Deathwing rending on his Nacarthium, his apothecary weapon, and I spent another 5 points on giving Lectra +1 initiative, so she's now an initiative 5 Lightning Claw Terminator. Pretty awesome. So hopefully you guys enjoy this battle, and let me know if there's anything I can work on. I'm still trying to use my camera a little bit better. My Nikon D3400 DSLR. I don't really know how to use it that well. I'm still trying to learn up and pick up, but I just want to get you guys a second video out because I know there's some people who really want to watch this. And hopefully you guys like this campaign. Alright guys, so here's the board we'll be playing on today. It's a revised version of Solomon 7, just a smaller one. Just to recap on the last mission of trying to find Lucius Nerol, the Grey Knight Commander, and we found him. He's actually a dreadnaught now. However, he is disabled and stuck in some debris, so it is the Dark Angel's job to try and defend him as the Tyranid swarm comes bellowing in the distance. You can see a cloud of toxic fog coming, so they know they're inbound, so it's basically trying to defend Lucius Nerol and see what secrets he holds. And in deployment, we have Urial Lionheart just on the top of that building there. We have Codicir Zal, we have Knight Virgil, Electra, Initiate, Deathwing, the Apothecary, and Orpheus, the Battle Standard. Just all surrounding Lucius Nerol, just trying to defend him, and we'll see what comes on in Tyranids turn 1. Turn 1, here's what showed up for the Tyranids. They all arrived on this side of the board currently, meaning that their Tyranid base is located this way. Which is good to note for later when if the Dark Angels survive, they'll hopefully try and bring the fight to the Tyranids. So what showed up is 4 Ripper Swarms. We have 2 warriors with Devourers and Scything Talons, and a warrior alpha with a Barbed Strangler and Scything Talons. 5 Termagants, of Venom Thrope, 5 Termagants. 2 units of 5 Hormigons just through there, and then 1 Lictor just hiding in the background right there. That's what showed up for now, and we'll see what happens in their movement and shooting phase. So here's what the Tyranid advance looks like. Basically everyone shuffled up. Anything that couldn't have shot ran. The Termagants could have ran farther, however they didn't want to get too close to the scary Deathwing Terminators right there, so they kind of tucked back only a few inches. And the Devourer shot from the warriors here as well as the Barbed Strangler, causing 1 wound on Knight Virgil over there, so he's already half dead. And these flesh boards here shot into Urial Lionheart, but he shrugged them off, no problem. Deathwing movement phase, their trap has been sprung. The Deathwing have leaped out from their cover. Orpheus is looking to take on those Termagants there, same thing with Dullthor, providing his 6-inch Feel No Pain bubble. Urial Lionheart is an inch away from those Termagants there, looking to wreck phase. Codicir Zal is looking to try and cast some psychic powers, buff up and debuff the enemy. Night Virgil is looking at those Hormagaunts there, and Electra's just a little bit behind, but she will make it in eventually. And that's it for the moon phase. Now we'll go into the psychic phase, and then I'll start my charges. So in the psychic phase, Codicir Zal here tried to cast Mind Worm on this here Venomthrope, however he failed. He got 2 psychic dice plus 1 for being master level 1, so he got 3 dice total. Tried to put 2 and it failed. And then tried to cast Righteous Repugnance on Dullthor over here, however the Tyranids denied it. So that's the psychic phase. Now we're going to the shooting phase and then the assault phase. So in the assault phase, Orpheus, Dullthor, Urial Lionheart, Night Virgil, and Codicir Zal all made it into the combats, however Electra did not. And in the shooting phase, none of their shots managed to do any damage. But let's go on and see what happens in the assault phase. So here's what's happened in the Deathwing assault phase. Virgil charged in, killed 2 of the Termagants there, and the Termagants caused 0 damage. Codicir Zal over here charged in and caused 1 wound to a Termagant, and taking no damage back in return. Uriel Lionheart managed to smite 2 of the Hormagaunts here, taking 0 damage himself. And Dullthor and Orpheus both managed to kill 1 Hormagaunt each and taking no damage in return. So that's the assault phase complete. Now let's go on to Tyranids. Alright, so here's what happens in the Tyranid movement phase. The Lictor here just shuffled up to try and get into combat with Dullthor. 3 Gene Stealers popped up along here. The Warriors all advanced forward to try and take on Virgil and Electra over there. The Ripper Swarms advanced towards Electra, and the Venomthrope here just shuffled around that combat and is looking to engage Codicir Zal. So now let's go on to the Tyranid shooting phase. So a quick recap of what happened in the shooting phase. These Tyranid Gene Stealers here just ran up a few inches. I was debating whether to shoot with these 2 warriors here into Electra. However, the Barbed Strangler shot from my Warrior Alpha and shaved off a health point from her, and she did not make her Bionic save. So instead I'm thinking I'm going to have these 2 warriors try and charge Virgil because he is a major threat. At least that's the plan. Let's see what happens. So right now I'm actually a little bit worried for the Deathwing because the Lictor made a charge. Well, actually everything made its charge and everything rolled 9 inches, oddly enough. The statistical chances of that happening are very slim. But the Lictor charged in, the Venomthrope charged in, those 2 warriors there charged in. The Ripper Swarms and the Warrior Alpha also charged in. So every Deathwing here is in combat right now. And no one is actually defending the Grey Knight Lucius Nerol over there. But hopefully Electra can survive and maybe she'll go guard him. I don't know. Let's roll some dice and see if the Deathwing can survive. Hey guys, so remember how I said I was scared of all the attacks coming in? Well, none of the Deathwing actually took a single wound. And barely any damage was actually taken on the Tyranid side. So Orpheus managed to punch 1 in the face. One of the Hormagaunts there. Uriel Lionheart managed to punch 1 as well. Virgil caused 1 wound on a warrior, and Electra caused 1 wound on the Warrior Alpha. That's it. I was expecting a lot more to happen. But that's what happens in dice games. So now we'll go on a Deathwing. So both in the movement and psychic phase, the only thing that happened was Codicir Zal managed to cast Force on himself, and that's it. Everyone else is either already in combat, so they can't move, and Codicir Zal can't cast outside of combat with any of the spells. So Force is the only thing you can put on, which is the one I wanted anyways. So now let's go on to the assault phase. So once again, not too much happened in this combat phase, simply because the Terminators are so resilient, but they don't have a lot of attacks in close combat to actually take out this much of a force. So what ends up happening is Electra caused 1 wound on the Warrior Alpha here and took 0 damage in return. Virgil, the Knight, he missed completely actually. Codicir Zal, using Force, managed to kill that Venomthrope that was there. Uriel Lionheart killed off the remaining 2 Hormagaunts that were there and consolidated back. And Orpheus thunderhammered one Termagant to the face, and then that's it. But the Deathwing hear like a roar in the background, a mighty roar, and you can hear the ground shaking when it moves, but they don't know what it is. They can just hear it coming from table edge over here. They're bracing for impact. They know something's coming, but they have to defeat what's remaining before that shows up. So in Tyrannid movement and shooting phase, the only thing that happened is that these three Gene Stealers advanced up towards their targets. Nothing to be shot at because everyone's in combat that can shoot. And now we're going to the assault phase. So in this turn here, actually a lot happened. So Electra managed to kill off that Warrior Alpha that was there, taking 0 damage herself. Virgil here used Smite and smited one of the warriors that was there and just instant killing him. Urial here managed to cause 0 wounds and take 0 wounds. And you might notice, but Delthor's gone. So Delthor managed to take like 5 wounds, failing all of his saves, and most of those were rending from the Lictor and the Gene Stealer there. And then he was just torn to pieces. Even his 3-up, Feel No Pain, couldn't save him. So he's gone. But Orpheus did manage to exact his revenge on the Lictor itself by taking a Thunderhammer to its face and instant killing it. So moving phase here, all that happened was that Urial Lionheart is just moved from over around there to over here, so you can free up Urial and basically cleanse and control this entire area. So with Delthor gone, the Deathwing managed to rally themselves up and just start smiting Tyranids in revenge. So the Gene Stealer's gone from that squad, except for Urial Lionheart and Urial managed to do literally nothing. Virgil caused or killed one of the Termagants that was there and took no wounds in return, and Electra herself managed to kill off one of the Ripper Swarms there. So in both the Tyrannid moving and assault phase, the only thing that they could do was stand there until the assault phase itself because everyone's already in combat. So what happened was Orpheus here managed to Thunderhammer punch that Hormigaunt that was there, freeing him up. Urial took a wound from the Gene Stealer that was there, and Urial Lionheart smited him down, and Urial took 2 of the Termagants away. Virgil here killed off that Gene Stealer that was there, and Electra's gone. She actually died to the Ripper Swarms there just by sheer number of attacks, and she failed her Bionic save as well. So she's gone for now, and let's see what happens in Deathwing turn. So in the movement and shooting phase, what happened was Orpheus, who was over there, moved up to there and has now charged the Ripper Swarms that are there. Everyone else is already in combat, so let's go and resolve all those. So with the main Tyrannid force depleted, Urial Lionheart and Urial both managed to finish off those 2 that were there. Virgil himself smited the warrior that was there, and Orpheus managed to Thunderhammer 2 of the Ripper Swarms that were there. But in the distance, you can still hear that thump, thump, thump. Some giant creature in the distance, and with that, you hear a horn sound like a horn, and the remaining Tyranids scurry away. You can tell something's going to happen.